In 2024, Kareha experienced heavy torrential rains that wreaked havoc, causing destruction to bridges, roads, and leaving many families homeless. Earlier this year in June, the King Sabata Dalindyebo municipality experienced severe flooding that resulted in the tragic loss of lives, displacement of communities, and a significant damage to infrastructure. With some of the damaged infrastructure under construction in Nelson Mandela Bay, the MEC Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, Zolile Williams, says part of the plans for disaster risk reduction is ensuring that municipalities work to fix and maintain the city's infrastructure. He emphasized the need for the municipality's drainage system to be cleaned to prevent flooding.
You see, there's nothing that creates disasters as unmanaged refuse. If refuse is everywhere scattered, it gets into the drainage system and blocks the drainage system. So what we are saying and emphatic on is that operations and maintenance of municipalities must work hard to ensure that drainage systems are cleaned and that rubbish is collected and managed properly in rubbish dumps. And rubbish dumps on their own must be properly managed so that there are no carbon emissions that affect communities. So it's a multiplicity of actions and plans that must be implemented to protect the health and well-being and the economy of municipalities.
With some of the damaged infrastructure under construction in Nelson Mandela Bay, the MEC of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, Zolile Williams, says part of the plans for disaster risk reduction is ensuring that municipalities work to fix and maintain the city's infrastructure. He emphasized the need for the municipality's drainage system to be cleaned to prevent flooding.
Disaster risk plans should not be theoretical documents or theoretical concepts. They should be practical documents which, when disaster strikes, you can use the plan to respond. But what is critical is town planning. That is our focal point. For instance, if you look at the disaster that struck us in Tata, we're persuading those communities to move away from areas that are below the flood line. But taking us to court as government, we couldn't move them away. Unfortunately, climate change struck at us, and we lost many people in that event. But now, people are actually listening, because as the provincial government, we're saying all those that are in those areas must move away.
Williams expressed his disappointment in the delay of response in rebuilding and restoring Kareha's infrastructure. However, pleased to hear construction is underway in fixing the Kareha Bridge, which will be beneficial to the metro's economy.
We don't want unnecessary delays in responding to infrastructure that must actually make the economy of the city work. For instance, you would remember that Volkswagen was affected because of that bridge. So we needed to be agile as the municipality to ensure that we quickly resolve the problem so that the economy can thrive again. Because delays in repairing infrastructure can actually make the economy or the investors decide to leave the city. And that's not what we want. We need those jobs. So I'm saying I was not happy with the speed within which we've worked in resolving those problems.
The Deputy Executive Mayor of the Metro, Gary van Negek, says as the municipality, they need to be more agile in responding to disaster situations and that they can do better in fixing up their drainage system.
Tenders are going out as we speak. We are now in October, but before the end of this year, we should have another assessment of these drains, and especially in these high-risk areas like Kareha that has been hard hit by disasters in the recent past. But yes, we are making an effort to make sure that these drains are cleaned. Without trying to make excuses why there were delays, we had EIAs, that's environmental impact assessments, and these things take time. You can't just go in and start repairing roads, rebuilding bridges. It's part of the statutory requirements that these things be done. But yes, we need to be more agile. We admit that freely, and should another disaster strike, we will be more ready.
The Nelson Mandela Bay municipality hopes the seminar is able to provide a comprehensive plan not only for the metro, but the province entirely, as communities and businesses are the most affected by disasters. Reporting for MPK TV News, I am Sinai Njodo in Gqeberha.